It's the fifth installment of the Predator franchise, but is it any good? The critics all say it is, but what do I say? Well, we'll find out next, right here on Chris Akin Presents. What is up, everybody? It is Chris Akin back once again for another episode of Chris Akin Presents. And before I get started, you know the drill. Hit all the bells and whistles that you're supposed to make sure that you get this podcast or this video cast every single day. Smash the notification button and the subscribe button, and you know the drill. Do all that stuff. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know you care, okay? Now, let's get right into it. There's a movie out there right now. It's on Hulu. It's called Prey. And if you're just somebody that reads critics, this movie's fantastic. Every critical thing is saying that it's great. It's getting tons of love. You know, I don't tend to base anything on critics, but I definitely will admit that as a movie watcher and as a movie fan, I tend to kind of look at Rotten Tomatoes, not so much the critics as much as the fan voting, the viewer voting. And everybody is loving this movie, which is why I watched it, because I'm going to be honest, I like the Predator stuff, but I didn't love a lot of it, and a lot of the Predator versus Alien 1 and 2 and stuff just really lost me. They kind of diluted that franchise pretty quick, I thought. So, they're back, though. Fifth installment of this, which is just called Prey. Now, to set the table here, Prey is set back in the Comanche days. It's a back in time thing. It's a prequel, I guess. It's definitely a prequel, but it's set back, before all the technology hits. So it's basically Indians versus the Predator is really what they could have called it. But the politically correct people will never say that. So the indigenous people versus the Predator. Whatever, it's Indians. So that is the basic premise of this movie, is that the Predator shows up in a place where there's a bunch of Indians that are living, and it's the Indians taking on the Predator. Now, this movie stars somebody named Amber Midthunder, who I do not know anything about, but she's clearly Native American, and therefore she plays this role. And she plays Naru in this, who is the main star. And she plays like a younger girl in this Indian tribe that's out there when all of a sudden the Predator shows up. And they go to great lengths to show you that she's not really considered to be a badass at first. They really go to great lengths to show that she sits in her place in the tribe, more or less, which is kind of, the lower end of the tribe, so to speak, is where she fits, which if you're familiar with any history, that makes sense. But all of a sudden, and this is where this movie loses me fast, when the Predator shows up, she becomes the badass of all badasses, and I don't get it. She's never really proven to be like this major awesome hunter or anything, or at least as far as the movie goes, she's never really proven to be any of that stuff. But she beats everybody. She beats the Indians. She beats this collective tribe of, I guess you would call them fur traders or fur hunters or something. They're a bunch of fat white guys that are laying bear traps and stuff, that are running around in the woods and stuff. She can defeat all these people, and she can defeat the Predator as well. Meanwhile, the Predator is exactly what you remember the Predator to be from the Arnold movie days. It's, an overly technological hunting machine. But this hunting machine cannot defeat Naru, apparently. So, movie-wise, I don't know. Again, it's getting a ton of love from people. I'm thinking that maybe the ton of love just comes from people's desperation for something good. To me, just watching this movie, it felt so much like a John Wick movie where had some cool kills in it, and the kills are really gross or really vicious. But they all felt like the John Wick thing, where every time there's a kill, they use that fast motion, that fast motion photography to make it look a little more gruesome, and then decorate it with tons and tons and tons of CGI, which is fine. You can't really kill people. I get all that, but it big feel. I will say it was shot great. It looks great. I just hated the story. I thought the story was dumb. I thought the Predator, they did not do any job at all of telling us why the Predator was there. And that to me was the biggest part of the problem, was why was the Predator there? What was he looking for? What was he doing? And they really didn't tell that story at all. At least I watched it twice. Because I'll be honest, I'll tell the truth. I posted this out on Facebook and I got feedback from people that are like, you didn't even watch the movie if you don't know this or that. So I watched it a second time and I still don't know why the fucking Predator was there. It just did not feel right. So, I don't get the whole premise of the movie. So therefore, I don't really have a whole lot great to say about the movie, to be really honest. Like I said, though, there are some good parts. The cinematography is excellent. The the acting, I guess, for what it is believable. It's believable in that respect, and it looks fantastic. It's the CGI and all the graphics and stuff looks excellent. Just a bad story to me. That's really what it came to, was it's just a bad story. So my thought is if you like the Predator movies, I'm going to recommend one that you go back to instead, which was Predators, and it's with an S on the end of it. And most people don't even remember this movie. It came out in 2010, and it was the fourth installment of this. Most people remember 1 and 2, and that's kind of it. And then maybe the Alien versus Predator stuff, but there was it might be the 5th or the 6th. I don't know which installment it is, but it was called Predators, and it featured Adrian Brody in it, and it featured Lawrence Fishburne in it. And that was a cool movie. The premise to that was more of these people got plucked out of nowhere and set in this world so that the predators could practice hunting. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that one. This one, not so much. So I don't know if you're a fan of the Predator franchise, which I kind of am not, I guess I'm neutral on it, which maybe that's part of the reason I don't love this, but, it's just okay at best for me. So I'll disagree with the critics and the fans that it's the best thing ever and just say that it's kind of average. All right. So that's that. That is Predators, or Prey rather. It is out now on Hulu. And if you are a fan of the Predator franchise, go check it out. Even if you come up with the same conclusion I do, wasn't the worst hour and a half I ever spent. So do that, all right? And make sure while you're wasting time, you waste some time with me every day at Chris Akin Presents. ChrisAkin.net is the website. All the podcasty stuff so that you never miss an episode. And that's going to do it for me, Chris Akin. And until next time, I have been Chris Akin. And guess what, folks? I will be again tomorrow. Peace. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Chris Akin, and I have got a special for you. This one right here. This is it. And other things I should not say. The book that's probably caused me more problems than it was worth, but I don't care because it was fun to write and fun to release, and it is out there. I just found a box with a few copies that are autographed, so for those of you that have been trying to get it autographed, now's the time. I literally have 3 copies of it, so if you want it, come get it. Get it right now. It is, and other things I should not say, my tales of my debauchery in Korea. It's a wild one, folks, but get it today over at ChrisAkinBooks.com. Get them while you can.